Hello and welcome to this guide about the best jungler in Mobile Legends. The jungler is one of the most important roles and can make a huge difference when played right. A good jungler can clear the jungle monsters efficiently, should gank often and takes out the turtle and lord when possible. Choosing the right hero can help you to make sure this role is played on the best way possible. That's why I want to share the 5 best jungle heroes of this moment. I will also teach you why those heroes are great to use, in which situations the hero can be a strong pick, and when you should avoid using the featured heroes. Stay tuned to learn about the strongest and most efficient junglers. The first hero on this list is Granger. He is currently one of the strongest junglers you can choose. A good jungler is able to deal a high amount of damage in a small amount of time. He also has to be very mobile, and a bit of defense can also help to increase the sustainability. Granger has the high damage, his mobility is decent, but he only lacks of defensive abilities. Therefore you should build some defensive items to compensate for the lack of sustainability. I always build warrior or tough boots, depending on the team I match up against, and the brute force breastplate. I find that it helps to tank some damage, so you don't get killed by an assassin easily. Granger is just great at dealing damage against a single target, which is very important to jungle effectively. This makes it easy to kill the jungle monsters fast, which helps to become strong. This is very important because you need to get gold XP fast, so you can deal high damage to the enemies. The high damage against a single target is also very useful when ganking. You should try to gank on a lane to outnumber the enemy. This is the most easy when your lane is pushed, so the enemy can't escape easily. Granger only has to come close to use skill 1 and make sure he hits as much bullets as possible. When the target isn't killed yet, Granger's ult can finish the job easily. He can be a very good pick when you match up against one or more heroes with strong CC skills. This way your ally is able to stun the hero, so it's easy to hit the target with skill 1 or his ultimate. Heroes like Selena, Barrett, Cho, Aurora and Tigreal go very well with Granger. He is also strong against heroes that have no escape skill, like Layla, Eudora, Hanabi, Cecilian and Angela. This makes it easy to hit the skills, even without the need of CC from allies. He is a bit less of a good pick when matching up against high burst damage heroes. When a team consists of heroes like Hellcat, Aurora, Eudora or Beatrix, he can be killed in seconds. When getting stunned and dealt high damage in a short time, Granger isn't able to survive. CC can also cancel the shots of his first kill, which also doesn't help him. The next hero is Hellcat. He is also able to deal a high amount of damage in a small amount of time and is also a very mobile hero. This makes him very good at ganking and can be the best pick in certain situations. Hellcat have been a good hero since his release. One of the reasons is his very annoying ultimate. His ultimate doesn't only benefit himself, but this can also help your team to take out the damage dealer without the tank able to defend him. The timing of the skill is just very important, and you should use the skill right before a team fight or when you see a damage dealer walking alone. Just like Granger, Hellcat can jungle quite fast, since his second skill deals high damage and has a low cooldown. This makes it easy to take out the jungle monsters. His first skill can be used to jump over obstacles, so you save time when walking towards the next jungle monster. It's very important to clear the jungle monsters as fast as possible, so your XP and gold get increased on the most efficient way. It's the small things which adds up if you keep doing this through the whole match. If you manage to clear the monsters 10 seconds faster than the enemy jungler does, this will make it likely you farm more than he did. Hellcat hasn't got the best defensive abilities. However, I normally don't buy defensive items when using Hellcat. This is because his ultimate and first skill makes it easy to escape after attacking an enemy. When playing Hellcat, it's important to play safely and try to attack heroes that are soloing. A big disadvantage of Hellcat is that he can get killed easily when fighting against 2 or more heroes, especially when they have a defensive build. Hellcat is a very good pick against heroes with bad mobility. When enemies can't escape, it makes it much easier to hit the target with his second skill. So try to pick Hellcat against a team with bad mobility. Also, heroes with low HP are easy to kill for Hellcat. His passive and the first skill can disable heroes to use skills for a while. This makes it easy to kill heroes that rely on skills to stay alive. Hellcat is very strong against heroes like Layla, Hanabi, Cecilian, Vil, Varsa, Odette, Aurora and Eudora. He is not the best pick against very mobile heroes or heroes that can't be killed easily. Hellcat is weak against the most tanks, and also Gusion, Lancelot, Fanny, Argus and Akai are quite hard for him to kill. If you like the guide so far, please hit the like button. It's a small effort for you, but it means a lot to me. Next we have Jawhead. He also is a great jungler at the moment. His mobility is decent, since he can increase his movement speed with his second skill. This skill also provides a shield, which helps to boost his sustainability. But the best thing about Jawhead is his damage. His first skill can deal a big amount of damage in seconds. This is a perfect skill if Jawhead fights against one enemy or one jungle monster. Not only skill 1 helps to deal damage, but also his passive will increase the damage every time he hits a target. The ability to throw enemies is also very useful when jungling. This skill helps a lot when ganking the lanes. Just run towards the enemy and throw him back so you can keep dealing damage. Also his ult will help to prevent the enemy from moving towards the turret. In early game you still need retribution to kill the jungle monsters fast. But a bit later on in the match, Jawhead's damage is so high that it's better to use retribution on the enemies. This will slow the enemy down, which makes it even easier to approach the enemy and throw him back or deal damage. Overall, Jawhead is just a very powerful jungler, which is a perfect choice when fighting against a team with bad mobility. I suggest you pick the hero against heroes like Layla, Hanabi, Aurora, Eudora and Cecilian. He is also a decent pick when you have allies that have to come close to attack an enemy. A few examples are heroes like Balmond, Guinevere, Terisla and Cho. Jawhead isn't the best pick when you fight against heroes with high movement speed or heroes with blink skills. It's a bit harder to chase and throw enemies like Vil, Cloud, Harley and Lancelot. The number 4 on the list of best junglers is Hanzo. Hanzo can also be a strong hero to play in certain situations, especially when the enemy has a jungler that needs the blue buff like Fanny or Ling. If you manage to steal the first buff, your team can have a huge advantage. This way the enemy jungler doesn't reach level 4 very fast, which protects your allies from a dangerous gank. A good Hanzo should really focus on stealing the buffs. How better he is at doing this, how more likely it is that you will win the match. He is also a great hero to gank a lane. By casting his ultimate on the right spot and right time, you can safely attack the enemies and even walk inside the turret to finish an enemy. This works very well against the less mobile heroes. I personally love to play Hanzo when the enemy team has at least 2 heroes with no escaping skill. Like I've mentioned in a lot of my videos, it's very important to choose a hero that's strong against the enemy heroes. This makes it more likely to win. The best heroes for Hanzo are heroes that don't have escape skills and no or bad CC skills. Layla, Hanabi, Cecilian and Eritol are perfect examples, but also heroes like Cyclops, Nana and Carry can be killed easily by Hanzo. This goes perfectly if your team consists of heroes with strong slow effects or other CC skills to prevent the enemy from escaping. Estes, Ive, Grog and Tigreal do very well with Hanzo. The biggest weakness of Hanzo are the very mobile heroes. When enemies manage to get to the part that's left behind, Hanzo can easily be killed, even when he hides really good. Johnson, Bastia, Lancelot, but also Fendi and Ling are heroes that don't have a hard time to move quickly around the map. This can be prevented if you have an ally that protects your left behind part very well. A big part of the success of Hanzo is just the experience. If you learn when and where to use the ultimate, this can increase your chance of winning significantly. It also takes a bit of practice to learn how you should move towards the enemy without getting spotted early on. If you manage to cast the second skill against a hero, there's a big chance you can finish it easily. Then we have the last hero, which fits perfectly in the jungle. I think Barrett is one of the strongest junglers at the moment. He misses the benefit from high mobility, but his defensive abilities, great CC skills, as well as high damage make up for that. He is only a strong hero when you have a high amount of stacks. This can be obtained and be held quite easily when jungling. Barrett can be level 4, having 25 stacks and having both buffs, in 1 minute and 30 seconds. At this point he can easily solo the tank and the marksman or the fighter hero, because the stacks provide him with resilience, increased damage, slow effect and physic and magic defense. This is just a very strong hero. I suggest to use a balanced build between attack and defensive items. This way Barrett is able to jingle fast while also being very hard to kill. Please let me know if you'd like to see a complete guide about Barretts, including the best emblems, build and tips and tricks. In most situations you shouldn't be using his ultimate. It can be a very fun skill to use, but it makes you vulnerable in a team fight. Since you aren't able to move or deal damage, you become an easy target. I try to only use his ultimate in a 1 vs 1 situation or when my HP drops very low. The trick is to stay at 25 stacks. You have 10 seconds of having not used skill damage to a target before the stacks will be reduced quickly. If you learn to get the stacks high, you can keep walking like a huge hero, destroying everything you see. He can be a very good pick against heroes with low HP. Barretts can get them down in just a few hits when having farmed well. The hardest part is getting close to an enemy. The second skill helps with that, but it might still be a hard challenge. That's why Barretts is also strong against the less mobile heroes, but he is also a decent pick against most fighter heroes. Also heroes with CC skills don't harm him very hard, because he is able to reduce the time being controlled by 50% when having 25 stacks. Together with tough boots, the CC has a very low effect. This makes him a perfect pick against heroes like Selena or Eudora. He also goes well with heroes that help him to stay alive and come closely. Therefore Rafaela, Estes, Angela, but also Tigreal, Bellatrix and Cecilian can be very strong heroes to have in your team. The biggest weakness of him are the heroes with long range attacks. When enemies can deal continuously damage from a big distance, it can be very hard for Barretts to survive. Be careful when the enemy team picks heroes like Layla, Leslie, Cecilian, Phil and Beatrix. These are the 5 best jungle heroes from this moment. That doesn't mean the other junglers are a bad pick or weak. Any hero can be good, if you play it right, and most importantly, choose it against the right enemy heroes. I hope you learned something with this guide. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. If you want to support the channel for free, just hit the like button and leave a comment. Just say hi or something, it will really help me and I like to read them all. Thank you for watching and I'll be seeing you in the next guide.